Hi everyone, welcome back to my studio. So today I'm going to be making more wax melts. What's planned today is using Pro Blend 650. But before I do that, I'm just going to make a short batch. I probably won't record much of it, if any, of me doing just about a half a pound of the C55, which is what I made yesterday. Today, I'm going to try to figure it a little bit better than I did yesterday. The maximum suggested fragrance load is 10%, which that doesn't mean you have to use the 10%. But it says they suggest using 10%. So I did not use the 10%. I thought I was. I just didn't really figure. I'm just assuming. You should never assume anything. So I only used 6%, the best I can understand, because I used a pound of wax and I used 1 ounce. And that's what I usually do, and that's about 6%, and that's what I've been doing with the 6006. I may have said that yesterday. But since I'm really testing these, I want to give the coconut blend, the C55, a good shot, so I feel like I need to do at least 3 or 4 candles using the 10% of the fragrance oil. And I do have one more bottle. I had 2 little sample bottles of the Apple Harvest from Candle Science, so I used one yesterday, so I'm going to use the other one today, and just keep them separated so that whenever in about a week I will be able to test them and see if it makes that much difference using 10% versus 6%. So it's another good way to try. And you know, if I could get by with using 6%, my goodness, as expensive as this fragrance oil is, I would love to do that, but I want it to work really well too, and to let the customer be really satisfied when they get it. That's why I'm doing all this testing. So I have got my wax. I think I'm actually doing 10 ounces of wax, and that should be a 10% times 10%. That is 1 ounce. So that's going to give me a whole 11 ounces of wax and fragrance oil, and I divided that by 2.6, which is how much my clamshell molds usually hold. It's either 2.6 or 2.7. I'm letting that heat up, and then I'm going to go ahead and add my fragrance oil and also my UV inhibitor. I want to remember to do that also. So thanks for joining me, and let's get this out of the way, and then I'll start on the Pro Blend 650. Okay, I have this wax melts really like 125 to 130, so it melted really quickly, and it was like 230 to 40 degrees in there. So I went ahead and poured it in here and put my UV inhibitor, and then I put my dye in it. So I put 4 drops. Yesterday I used 6, but this is 10 ounces versus 16, so I put 4. It may be a little bit darker. And I'm letting it cool down to at least 200. And it's almost there. It's 206. So I was thinking that was my fragrance oil, but it's not. So here's my fragrance oil. And the flash point is 189, so I don't think I need to put it in at 200, but it says heat it to 200. So when it gets down below about 190, it's 202, I'm going to go ahead and pour the fragrance oil in there. Okay, it's 190. That is close enough. This is going to cool it down dramatically. Okay, that has cooled it down to 175. So everything looks like it's pretty well incorporated. And I think it's going to be light pink again. I've had these liquid dyes for a while, but we'll see how they go. And I want to be really careful not to make a mess today. Don't mean I won't though. So here goes. I think the closer I can get it to the edge, and I think the table's a little high for me, but excuses. So if my figuring is correct, I should get at least 4 and just a little bit left. I wish they would stay this color, but they don't. That looks about as full as we can get, and there is a little bit left. I don't think, let's see if I can figure out. No, my scales already died, so I won't be able to tell how much is left. These will be some cute little samples or something. I got this little tray from, there you go, Hobby Lobby the other day. Or Michael's. That is like a Hobby Lobby bag over there. So, yeah, because sometimes the bigger ones, like this one over here, there's not even enough to hardly fill one up. Okay, so that's it for my redo, but I'm going to have to let it sit a little bit before I can close them up, move them or anything, and I'll start getting prepared for my Pro Blend 650. Okay, so now I'm going to start working on the Pro Blend 650, and you're going to see there's a big difference if you saw me struggling to cut the coconut C55 yesterday, and I didn't cut it. I finally got my husband to do it. So this is so much easier to work with, which is really, it's not flakes, it's just fine like seesaw or something. And even though it's in big clumps, it'll melt immediately. It'll clump all together. So I'm just going to put 10 ounces in here. That's 7. Just a little bit over 10.7, and that is 10 exactly. So that is definitely a plus in just being able to scoop it out and pour it right in. So I'm gonna put this in the melt and get it to temperature, and let's see what it says here. It's been a while since I've made this. Okay, the Pro Blend 650 is a Parasoy votive and tart wax and designed for pillars, votives, and tarts. Yeah, I don't know if you consider this a tart, but anyway, what it is, it's going to be in the wax melt. And it's approximately 52% soy and 48% paraffin. Its melt point is 130 to 132. So the advantages is, of course, easy. You don't have to cut it or break it. The high fragrance load is 8 to 10%. And I don't really know if why that would be a plus, because to me, if you can use less fragrance oil, the better off you are. So I have to figure here. I'll tell you about my fragrance in a minute. Smooth and creamy and no additives required, but I'm still going to put my UV inhibitor in it. Wax should be melted to 180 to 185 degrees, and then added 1 ounce of fragrance per pound to start with. And that's what I used to do all the time, which I think is more like 6%, maybe. But this is saying 8 to 10. Cool approximately to 160, 175, and pour in slowly. Okay. So I just read that it says you should use 1 ounce per pound, but I'm doing 10 ounces. And I'm going to say, and it suggested 8 to 10%. So again, I don't think 1 ounce per pound would be right. Okay, my wax is just about melted. So what I decided to do is combine 2 fragrances. I started to do smoked OUD, but I don't really know. I couldn't quite pull the trigger on that one. So I got to look at it and it says you could join it with Amber Noir, N-O-I-R. So I got it out and I put them 2 together, but still all I could smell is the smoke. So I was like, I'm just not going to do that. So I just happened to think, well, I looked and this said you could use lavender. Well, I have some lavender. I've actually made a melt with one, but I'm pretty sure there's enough in here that I could combine these 2. So I used my little strips here and put them together, dip one in the other one and put them together. And that is a real pleasant smell. That's why I have my gloves on, because I still smell like smoked oud, or whatever you want to call it. So I've decided with my 10 ounces of wax, and it says 8 to 10%, I'm going to go with 8% instead of 6. So that would be 0.80. So I'm going to do about half and half, 0.4 of each one. So I'm going to pour the lavender first, since that may be the one that I have the least amount of. Make sure I have 0.4. So I'm going to have to write all this stuff down so I'll know that was exactly 0.4. Know exactly what I'm doing. Oops, and then it went to 0.3. Let's give it another little nudge. That just did go to 4 then. Okay, so now the Amber Noir, which I'm going to have to look it up and see. I did look it up, and it said it's dark, seductive, sophisticated. So I figured that lavender may go pretty good. So another, that's 0.6 to leave another little dash. 0.7. You would think it would be 8. Now it's 0.8. And the flash point on this one is 225, and this one's 192. So they're both good. If it had been one of them like, I don't know, 125 or something, you probably wouldn't even use it for a candle. So I'm going to just mix these 2 together. I think that's going to be nice. I just don't know what I'm going to be able to name it. I'll come up with something though. And I feel like I need to color it a little bit, but I'm not sure. I mean, I know lavender is purple. Amber is goldish brown. Okay, my wax is melted, and it was actually over 200, like 224 a minute ago. So I've taken the lid off, and still 228, but I'm going to go ahead and, just for the heck of it, measure it to make sure it will be 10 ounces. And because there's such a small amount, I won't have to pour it in. And it is very hot, but it will cool down pretty quickly. So I don't like having to do this. It's dangerous when you're pouring hot wax. And I think I probably spilled it. I'm not sure. I can't see the other side. But you just need to be very careful if you're doing this at home or anywhere. And it is exactly when that went up to 10.1. So put this back over here. And let's see how much it's cooled off. Not a whole lot, 222. I'm going to go ahead and put, it's not a whole teaspoon, a little over half maybe, of the UV inhibitor. Still haven't decided on the color. Maybe I just leave it white. $208. So I want to move these. I don't want to accidentally take them and just turn them up like I'm used to, just pouring right out of the bottle. it's so pretty with color. Thinking I'll just do a little bit of lavender. Okay, I found my purple. I didn't know if I had maybe a lavender, but I didn't see one. So I can go ahead and put, I'm going to put 2 drops in. Give that a good stir. It looks really dark right now. And that may have cooled it down even more. It's 197. So I think I'm going to go ahead and pour this in there. And get every drop of it. It is really a very pleasant smell. I don't know how to describe it though. That almost smell like Coca-Cola. Like it used to smell. That makes no sense. $185. I'm gonna keep stirring. Get it back down to about 175 like I did on these other 4. This may be one of my favorites. I've actually got it printed off, both of them, what they are supposed to smell like. And I hate to say it, but the Amber No War, I'm sure that's French. That means dark or black. It says it was revised as of June 30th, 2021. It was revised to make it a clean scent. Now mine does not say clean scent on it, and I may have gotten it before there. The other one's discontinued, so I'm not really sure. But it says it's one of the best-selling fragrances. Sweet and sensual top notes. Complex, sensual scent that makes it so well suited for year-round. So maybe I shouldn't have even put any lavender with it, but I just wanted to try something different. And it does have a lot of fragrance oils in it. Cypress, cedarwood, patchouli, mandarin, tangerine, sweet orange, nuka tree, never heard of that one, and Davana, never heard of that one. So it recommended, okay, the patchouli, which to me is a little masculine, but I do like it. Lavender, neroli, white jasmine, other stuff that you could mix it with, and the smoked OUD, which means smoked out, in my opinion. I don't know. So, and of course the lavender, it just says it stays true to the classic beautiful flower, and it says that it mixes well with, it didn't say, I guess, well this one said the lavender, but it did not say, the lavender did not say that it would mix well with the amber. It said garden mint, rosemary, sage, and sandalwood. So, and here I am stirring and reading, and it's probably 120 degrees. It has really gotten down cooler. So I would never have thought that it would cool down that fast, but anyway. Oh, that's a pretty color. And I don't have a paper towel on me, of course. Darn, I do wish these colors would stay. And there is some wax, I think, that keeps the colors a little bit vibrant. I don't know if it's this one or not. Let me make sure all of them are filled. Yep, and I just dropped a drop. And that one was a very drop. That one just messed up that little hole. But oh well. So there you have it. If I come up with a name, it might depend on what they look like whenever they dry a little bit, or dry, I guess they dry, cure a little bit, solidify. And I have to come up with a label for it. Of course, I almost really ought to just test it just to make sure that it's even going to smell good once it gets hot and gets melted, because it is just something I threw together, and that's part of my problem. I like to experiment too much. But anyway, that's it right this minute. Thanks. Okay guys, that just about wraps this video up. I have let these cool off. They're still warm, and I've closed them up, and they turned it the most beautiful color. And I have thought about what to name them. I need to close these up. They're still warm also. It's been like an hour or so. I went next door to my daughter's when she got home from work, and I still haven't come up with a name for my lavender and my amber. No, I can't even say that word. N-O-I-R. No. Anyway, amber, lavender, amber. I mean, there's got to be something that I can kind of throw together. But right now, there are so many fragrances and smells in here, and I really can't tell what it smells like. So I think I'm going to have to wait and see if I smell more lavender or if I smell more of the amber, and see if I can come up with a name. But either way, I think they look really pretty right now. I love the color, the way they turned out, and we'll see in a few days how they smell, and maybe by then I can come up with a name and put a label on them if they're worthy of a label. We'll have to wait and see. So that's it, and thank you for joining me. And if you did like this video, give it a like, a thumbs up, subscribe. I'm very new to YouTube, so I need all the subscribers I can get and all the likes I can get. Please give comments, anything. If you could kind of come up with a name of what I should name this, I would love to know. And if you come up with a name, hey, I'll send you a free sample of one of my, whatever it is named. I will send you one, the name that I choose. So that would be a good little contest. So yeah, let's make it a contest and just put it in the comments there. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you the next time. Bye.